What if I told you the real crypto millionaires are not on Twitter, they're not on YouTube, and they're definitely not selling you courses? You know the famous names, Elon Musk, CZ, Sam Bankman-Fried, but today's story is about people you've never heard of. People who bought Bitcoin when it was worth less than 1 cent and never told anyone. People who mined crypto on old laptops, forgot about it for years, and woke up as multi-millionaires. No interviews, no documentaries, no headlines. Because the moment you become visible in crypto, you become a target. Banks don't talk about them. Governments don't highlight them. And the media prefers stories that keep you distracted. These are the silent winners. The people who understood crypto before the world cared. And here's the uncomfortable truth. They didn't have insider information. They didn't have billions. And they didn't have connections. They had vision and patience. They understood one simple rule. The real money is made in silence, while everyone else is busy laughing, arguing, or chasing hype. They bought when fear was high. They held when others panicked. They waited while the world called it a joke. So the question is, if they did it quietly, could someone like you do it too? Because the biggest crypto fortunes were built before the cameras arrived, before the headlines exploded, before everyone started paying attention. Beat drop? This is the side of crypto they never promote. The side that doesn't go viral. The side that actually creates freedom. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. When people hear the word crypto millionaire, they imagine billionaires on magazine covers, CEOs tweeting market-moving statements, or celebrities promoting coins on social media. But that image is completely misleading. The truth is, the majority of crypto wealth was never made in public. Real crypto money didn't come from hype. It didn't come from sponsorships, and it didn't come from fame. It came from ordinary people who entered early and stayed invisible. Teachers, engineers, gamers, college students. People who didn't call themselves investors. They were just curious. They bought Bitcoin not to get rich, but because they wanted to understand a new technology. Some of them spent $50. Some spent a few hundred. At the time, it meant nothing. There were no price predictions, no to the moon slogans, no YouTube gurus. Just an experiment, while the world laughed and ignored it. These people quietly accumulate digital assets. And when Bitcoin crashed, they didn't panic. Because they weren't chasing fast money. They weren't trying to impress anyone. That's the hidden side of crypto wealth. The richest players weren't loud. They weren't flashy. They didn't announce their moves. They simply understood one thing. If something truly has the power to change the system, you don't need permission to believe in it. And by the time the world noticed, their positions were already set. In the early days of Bitcoin, mining wasn't a business. It wasn't competitive, and it definitely wasn't expensive. There were no massive mining farms, no warehouses filled with machines, no industrial electricity setups. Bitcoin was mined on ordinary computers, old laptops, home PCs, even machines that overheated and crashed. Back then, mining a block could earn you 50 Bitcoins. Not $50, 50 Bitcoins. At that time, those coins were practically worthless. They couldn't be spent anywhere. They couldn't be exchanged easily. Most people didn't even believe they had real value. So miners didn't feel rich. They felt curious. Many of them mined Bitcoin simply to test the network, to help the system run, to see if this strange digital experiment would even survive. Some stopped mining after a few weeks. Some forgot about the wallets entirely. Some deleted the software and moved on with their lives. Years later, when Bitcoin hit thousands, then tens of thousands of dollars, those forgotten wallets became digital treasure chests. A single laptop running overnight in 2010 could quietly create a fortune worth millions today. No contracts, no offices, no approval from banks, just code, curiosity, and time. And that's the part history rarely mentions. The first crypto millionaires didn't chase wealth. They accidentally walked into it. In crypto, timing matters. But sometimes, not acting matters even more. Among the earliest Bitcoin adopters were programmers. People who understood the code, the math, and the philosophy behind decentralized money. One of them mined and bought thousands of Bitcoins when they were worth almost nothing. As the price slowly started to rise, friends told him to sell. Forums were full of warnings. Every small crash created panic. But he did something unusual. He did nothing. He believed Bitcoin wasn't just an asset. It was a system designed to challenge traditional finance. So while others took profits early, he kept his coins untouched. Years passed. Bitcoin crashed multiple times. Each crash wiped out new investors. Each recovery made headlines. Still, he didn't sell. Not at $100. Not at $1,000. Not even when Bitcoin crossed 5 figures. To the outside world, it looked insane. But for him, selling early meant giving up ownership of something he believed would reshape money itself. Today, wallets like his are rarely active. When they move, markets react instantly. Because a single decision to hold while everyone else sold quietly turned a programmer into a crypto billionaire. Not through luck, not through hype, but through conviction. When most people hear the words dark web, they immediately think of crime, hacks, and illegal activity. But in the early days of Bitcoin, the dark web played a very different role. It was one of the first places where Bitcoin actually worked. No banks, no identity checks, no borders. Bitcoin became a tool for people who needed fast, global, censorship-resistant payments. Some early users didn't trust banks. Some lived in countries with broken financial systems. Others simply wanted privacy. They used Bitcoin not to get rich, but because it solved a real problem. At the time, Bitcoin was cheap, unstable, and ignored. Users paid thousands of coins for simple transactions, never imagining those coins would one day be worth millions. Here's the twist. Many of these people didn't break the law. They weren't criminals. They were early adopters using a new financial tool, before governments even understood it. When authorities eventually shut down marketplaces, Bitcoin didn't disappear. It survived, and the people who held on to their coins, not because of greed, but because they had no reason to sell, found themselves sitting on massive fortunes years later. What started as a practical solution turned into generational wealth. Not illegal, not lucky, just early. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the fortune you mined or bought is literally lost. In crypto's early days, security wasn't glamorous. Wallets were simple files on computers. Passwords were scribbled on notes. Private keys were saved in forgotten folders. One early Bitcoin miner did everything right. He mined thousands of coins, watched them grow, and then forgot the password. Years passed. Bitcoin soared to thousands of dollars. Every news headline shouted about wealth. But for him, the treasure was locked away forever. Stories like his aren't rare. Millions of coins are believed to be lost forever. Hard drives discarded. Backups forgotten. Keys thrown away. It's a brutal reminder. In crypto, fortune is only real if you can access it. Yet, despite this, some lost wallet stories carry a strange lesson. The real wealth wasn't just in numbers. It was in understanding the system early, even after losing billions on paper. These early miners influenced the market, helped build networks, and shaped the future of digital money. The lesson? In crypto, knowledge and timing matter. But security and attention to detail are just as critical. In the crypto world, some of the biggest players are completely invisible. They don't tweet, they don't give interviews, they don't appear in Forbes lists. These are the whales investors holding enormous amounts of cryptocurrency, capable of moving markets with a single transaction. No one knows their names, no one knows their faces, yet their influence is undeniable. A single large sale can crash prices in minutes. A single massive buy can spark a rally overnight. Markets react not to headlines, but to silent moves behind the scenes. Some whales are early adopters. Those who bought Bitcoin or Ethereum when it was nearly worthless. Others are institutional investors quietly accumulating positions without attracting attention. They operate in shadows, exploiting a simple principle. Visibility equals vulnerability. While the media chases stories of hype, pumps, and celebrities, these whales quietly build empires, often remaining completely anonymous. Their power lies in silence and patience. And for ordinary investors, the lesson is clear. Markets are shaped far more by invisible hands than by the voices you see online. Not all crypto millionaires started in Silicon Valley or New York. Some came from countries where banks fail. Inflation destroys savings, and the economy barely supports daily life. In these places, crypto wasn't just an investment. It was a lifeline. People who had no access to traditional financial tools used Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptocurrencies to store value, transfer money, and even escape hyperinflation. A few dollars invested in Bitcoin years ago could change a family's entire future. It could buy a home, start a business, or pay for education. For many, crypto wasn't hype, it was freedom. And the ones who held their assets, even when prices fluctuated wildly, ended up richer than anyone could imagine. These stories don't make headlines. They don't get media attention. But they are proof that crypto wealth isn't just for techies or billionaires. It's for those who see opportunity where others see despair. Timing, patience, and courage created fortunes in places the world often ignores. While everyone was obsessed with Bitcoin, a few sharp minds were paying attention to something else. Ethereum. Launched in 2015, Ethereum introduced smart contracts, self-executing agreements that could run on a blockchain. It wasn't just digital money. It was a platform for an entirely new financial system. Early believers bought ETH when it was worth just a few dollars. Some mined it on personal computers. Some invested tiny savings, believing in the technology rather than the hype. As decentralized applications, DeFi platforms, and NFTs exploded, the value of Ethereum soared, turning these early adopters into millionaires and even billionaires. Unlike Bitcoin, Ethereum rewarded innovation. Those who understood its potential didn't just get rich, they became part of a financial revolution. And here's the lesson. Sometimes the biggest opportunities aren't in what's famous, but in what the crowd hasn't yet fully understood. When people think of crypto exchanges, Binance, Coinbase, and a few big names usually come to mind. But behind the scenes, there are founders of smaller, lesser-known exchanges who quietly built massive fortunes. These founders didn't chase fame or media attention. They focused on building infrastructure, secure platforms where millions could trade safely. Some of these exchanges were started in basements, small offices, or even as side projects by tech-savvy individuals. They solved real problems: faster transactions, better security, and access to new markets. While the world chased memes and flashy coins, these founders earned steadily, taking small percentages from trades and reinvesting their profits into the ecosystem. Today, many of these invisible exchange founders control assets worth hundreds of millions, sometimes even billions, without anyone knowing their names. The lesson here is clear. In crypto, creating value quietly can be far more profitable than chasing the spotlight. The media loves stories that are flashy, loud, and easy to understand. Big names, big scandals, big hype. But the real crypto millionaires don't fit that narrative. They don't make headlines. They don't tweet dramatic market predictions. They don't stage interviews for clicks. Why? Because visibility brings risk. Banks watch them. Regulators watch them. Hackers watch them. The moment you become public, you invite scrutiny and potential trouble. Edia thrives on attention-grabbing stories, not quiet patience, discipline, and foresight. So while the world reads about celebrity crypto moves, the silent builders continue stacking wealth unnoticed. These stories exist, but they're hidden from mainstream coverage. And that's exactly why the average person thinks crypto riches are owned for the elite. In reality, the wealthiest players often operate in shadows, letting others chase headlines, while they quietly secure their fortunes. If you study the stories of hidden crypto millionaires, one pattern emerges again and again. They think long-term. They ignore the noise. They stay silent while the world panics. These millionaires didn't follow trends. They created their own paths. They didn't chase the latest coin or hype. They held on to what mattered. They didn't advertise their wealth. They protected it. Another key trait: action without recognition. They didn't need validation. They mined when it was worthless. They invested when no one cared. They built exchanges and tools while the crowd was distracted. Patience, discipline, and vision. These three qualities consistently separate quiet millionaires from the rest of the pack. The takeaway is simple. Wealth isn't about luck or flashy moves. It's about strategy, timing, and resilience. Things you can control even today. The stories of hidden crypto millionaires aren't just entertaining, they're lessons in wealth psychology. First, think independently. Don't follow the crowd blindly. These early adopters made money because they understood the technology before it became popular. Second, focus on long-term vision. They didn't chase quick pumps or memes. They held assets for years, ignoring short-term volatility. Third, act quietly. The loudest voices online rarely make the biggest profits. Silence and discretion protect your wealth and give you freedom. Fourth, learn the system. Crypto isn't just about trading. It's about understanding networks, smart contracts, and financial mechanics. And finally, patience is power. Fortunes aren't made overnight. They're made over time by those willing to endure market swings, skepticism, and doubt. If you take one thing from their stories, let it be this: wealth is rarely about luck. It's about preparing, observing, and acting wisely before the world catches on. The hidden world of crypto millionaires is proof that life-changing wealth doesn't require fame, flashy moves, or luck. It requires vision, patience, and action, often quietly, away from the spotlight. So ask yourself, are you ready to study, understand, and take smart steps? Are you ready to position yourself while the world chases hype? Because the next story of quiet crypto success could very well have your name on it. The opportunity is still here. The question is, will you take it or watch from the sidelines? Subscribe now and turn on notifications to uncover the crypto secrets they don't want you to know.